Good evening. This is Black Spock. I'm here to show you another one of my games. After all, this is the journey of Black Spock, and but I'm gonna skip around a little bit. I just wanted to show you the title of this video is Aggravating Losses: Ode to the Pain. Um, there are pros and cons to playing 100 plus games in correspondence chess on chess.com and leadchess.org. One of the cons is that from time to time you will forget the thread of the game. You'll play a series of moves and then not get back to the game in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. And you're low on time and you try to scan the board, and sometimes you just don't see stuff that you should see. In this case, I didn't see a queen and rook coming together to mate me on h7. That was aggravating. But so in this, I created a tournament called the Scheveningen Knight style versus 6 Bishop E3. And when the games begin, the first 6 moves of the game are already done. And so you just continue with the 7th move. So let me show you the first 6 moves. It's E4, C5, Knight to F3, D6, D4, C takes D4, Knight takes D4, Knight F6, Knight C3, A6, Bishop to E3, and E6. So this is the beginning of the Scheveningen defense versus the open on the white side of the board at Sicilian. And now my opponent continues. I thought he was going to do F3 because that would have been the English style attack, but he chose not to. Instead, he went with Bishop E2, getting ready to castle, and I follow suit with Bishop to E7. So he castles, and I castle. Now at this point, White is ahead in development slightly. Well, he has all 4 of his minor pieces developed, the 2 knights and 2 bishops. He's castled, I've castled, so I'm still behind my light squared bishop and my bishop on B8. But they're in position to be developed soon. So the reason why it's not so bad being behind the development in this game is because White still has to figure out what his plan is. So it gives me enough time to develop my pieces in the meantime. So White begins. Let me just scroll the screen down here. I have the game on the computer, but I want to keep the game, the camera on the board, as we're low tech. We want to, make it a little interesting, a little different. So, okay, his next move was he castled, yes, F4, and then I played F4, and then I attacked on the other side, B5. This gives him more firm grip on the center, and so I still have I have a good center here because I have my 2 pawns, the E6 and D6 pawns together, so it's okay. So I attack from the side with B5. He plays Bishop to F3, which is getting ready to attack this rook on A8. So I'd like to try, and if he moves his pawn to E5, well, I'm going to take his bishop, light squared bishop, and then we'll be, not that that'll, because the queen can always come to F3 and also attack the rook, but in this case, evens things up a little bit. I could also, if he were to play E3 now, I can get my knight over to D5. We still have bishop and knight attacking the knight, but it's protected by the pawn and bishop, so we're okay. Let's go back. He didn't do that yet, I don't think. He played A3. I think I got the move order. I still always get the move order a little bit, even though going from the screen to the board. So F4, B5, Bishop F3. I respond with Bishop B7, A3, and then I played Knight C6. That's correct. Okay, at this point, White is still trying to figure out what he's going to do with his attack. I mean, he's got a nice center here. Everything's developed. Question is, now what? In this case, he decides to attack my knight. Usually, I hate when white does this. He used to do this when I played the dragon. And whoever playing white, would always take my c6 knight. And I always hated that. So that's why I switched over to the Cheveningen. Usually, they don't take your c6 knight because they're still trying to figure out what to do. And they don't want to lose one of their minor pieces so early in the game. So I took back with my bishop, and he decided to continue with queen to d3. Okay, and he's preparing to attack this h7 point at some point. At this point, and also what it does is now his rooks are connected. So, and that's a good thing you want to keep in mind. Whatever opening you have, you want to make sure your rooks are connected. This backspace is, all your pieces are developed, so you have this clear field so that the rooks can be connected together. They protect each other. I went for maybe protecting my bishop. So I went rook to c8. He went rook to d1 because he's making a threat of queen and rook against this d pawn. Okay. I went rook to b8. Why did I do that? It's kind of like I guess a waiting move. I mean, it protects this pawn. If I should move it against knight, if he takes it, I can take back with the rook. And it gets the rook. Well, the rook's already out of the a diagonal alignment, but that's basically what that was for. I didn't move my queen yet. I don't like moving it so early. Well, he finally decides to play e5. And what did I do? Oh, well, as I said earlier, if he played e5, I would take his bishop, which I did. And he took back with the rook. Now you see the reason for the queen on d3. Because eventually he's going to move his rook to h3. And the queen is going to be in line to attack my... Now, for now, my knight... Well, see, I didn't want to take the pawn with my other pawn because of this queen rook battery, and I didn't want to lose my queen. I mean, we can go through it and see if I have a right to be annoyed at that. Let's say take it. I take, and takes back. And I take, and that's not a position I should be afraid of. I don't know why I was afraid of it. Everything looks even. You still have the same two minor pieces. No, okay, he can take. My center's gone. I still have to move. The knight goes over here. We would have been okay. I don't know why. I guess I was he's got a pawn already in my side of the board, which I don't like, but it's playable. It's playable. I shouldn't have been afraid of that. Let me go back to what we had on the board before. So, let's see here. Bishop, rook, rook. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm just trying to put back the pieces the way they were. Oh, okay. All right. So, that's where we were. Yes, he's getting ready to. So I decide to, at this point, I decided that I'm okay. Instead of putting the knight on d5, where basically he takes my knight, I take the pawn, and he takes back, and now he's controlling the center more than I am. I can't move my, f6 pawn because my king would then be in check. So yeah, he's got a stronger center. So I didn't play knight. Instead, I chose to attack his bishop. Knight to g4. And then he played rook to h3. It was at this point that some time had passed, maybe a couple of weeks or something. When I came back to the game, I think I was low on time, and I was like, well, I'm skipping a pawn here. I was low on time, and the first thing I saw was, well, the center here is very weak for me, very strong for him. I wanted to block him, but I've forgotten he also has a checkmate threat against me. So I move d5 and checkmate. That ends the game. Man, that is aggravating. Because well, let's stop there, and then on the next video, I'll show how the game could have continued. All right. Hey everyone, if you liked the video, or even if you didn't like the video, but you sat through all of this and watched, please hit the like button and please become a subscriber. It helps me grow the channel, and I'd love if you'd help me do that. So thank you everyone. Thank you to all the people who've already subscribed, and I bid you all a good night until next time. Thank you.